Everyone talking about Deshaun Watson as the Browns starter, but what if the real story is being ignored? While analysts hype the past, one quarterback is quietly dominating, healthy and ready to take control. The question isn't who might win, it's who already has momentum. The NFL world has been buzzing, but not for the reason you'd expect. Analysts are calling the quarterback situation in Cleveland wide open, yet one voice in particular sparked a storm. Schefter stepped up, confidently claiming Deshaun Watson could still be the starting quarterback, and the internet exploded. The reaction wasn't mild. Social media went from casual chatter to full-blown backlash in seconds. Fans, former players, and even casual observers suddenly questioned whether Schefter had just fumbled the easiest prediction of his career. For a moment, it felt like the league collectively paused, asking, did he really just say that? And here where it gets even messier. Schefter didn't just make a bold claim, he went on the Pat McAfee show, doubling down. On live television, he painted a picture of Watson as the inevitable QB1, polished, confident, and untouchable. On camera, it sounded smooth. But take a step back and the argument started wobbling. Injuries, inconsistency, and years of missed games weren't just minor details, they were glaring red flags. Every highlight Watson had from Houston felt like a memory fading faster than most analysts wanted to admit. Meanwhile, the actual Cleveland Browns film from recent seasons told a different story. A quarterback struggling to find rhythm, drives stalling, timing off, and sparks that never fully ignited. Then there, Shedeur Sanders, the complete contrast. Walking into this conversation, he radiates confidence, composure, and leadership. Every practice, every snap, every decision on the field screams readiness. The offense flows differently with him, tempo sharper, teammates responding instinctively. And while the media continues debating, Todd Monken quietly clarifies the obvious. Nobody has done enough recently to lock down that starting job. It's not disrespect, it's just football reality. This isn't a side-by-side comparison. It's a spotlight on momentum versus nostalgia, growth versus unmet potential. Schefter's take wasn't just controversial, it highlighted how easily narratives can blind us to the facts in front of us. Watson represents a chapter that never fully delivered. Sanders represents the momentum, the future, the quarterback actually putting points on the board right now. Analysts might cling to the past, but the field doesn't lie. And the more you watch, the clearer it becomes. The quarterback battle isn't really a battle at all. So the question hanging over the Browns and the league at large isn't who the media says should start. It's who already has the edge, and the edge might not be who anyone expected. Momentum, health, leadership, and production don't just happen, they show up. And right now, one quarterback is showing up in a way that's impossible to ignore. Deshaun Watson's time in Cleveland has been a story of missed opportunities, setbacks, and growing skepticism. Fans didn't just notice his struggles, they felt them every Sunday. The quarterback, once celebrated for his rocket arm and playmaking ability, suddenly looked inconsistent, shaky, and hesitant under pressure. It wasn't just a few bad games, it was a pattern that raised eyebrows across the league. One Achilles injury followed by another, a shoulder setback, and multiple years without finishing a full season. These weren't minor hurdles. They were massive red flags for any team hoping he could lead them consistently. When Watson did step onto the field, the highlight reels from Houston didn't follow him. Instead of game-changing plays, fans watched drives stall, timing misfires, and turnovers that left them scratching their heads. The kind of quarterback who once dictated games now seemed to be searching for rhythm in real time, trying to regain confidence that the league had already started questioning. Every incomplete pass, every hesitation under pressure, added weight to the narrative that Cleveland might be expecting a comeback that reality didn't support. It gets even more complicated when you consider age and experience. Watson is 30, and in NFL terms, that's a pivotal point, especially for a quarterback with multiple serious injuries. The clock isn't just ticking, it's loud and it's relentless. Recovery isn't a guarantee, and durability becomes a question mark that overshadows everything else. Teams aren't just evaluating talent anymore, they're evaluating availability. Can he stay on the field consistently? Can he deliver week in and week out? Reports keep floating that Watson might still be the frontrunner, but once you strip away media hype, the tape tells a different story. Drives that stall, decision-making under pressure that falters, and missed opportunities that cost points, it all adds up. These aren't isolated incidents. They are pieces of a larger pattern that any team has to consider carefully. Analysts might focus on his past, on what he could be if everything aligns perfectly, but football doesn't run on ifs and maybes. It runs on what happens on the field every Sunday. And that's the reality facing Watson in Cleveland. Health concerns, inconsistent performances, and a clock that won't wait are not narrative-friendly. They are facts, and facts are what decide starting jobs, playoff chances, and the direction of a franchise. If the Browns are serious about winning now, they have to weigh Watson's struggles against the momentum of a rising quarterback who is healthy, focused, and producing results in real time. That contrast isn't just dramatic, it's decisive. While Watson struggles to recapture his former glory, Shedeur Sanders is quietly rewriting the narrative in Cleveland. From the moment he steps onto the field, the difference is palpable. Confidence radiates from him, not the flashy show-off kind, but the type that elevates everyone around him. Teammates respond. The offense moves differently. Timing sharpens, decisions are quicker. Pressure doesn't rattle him, it sharpens him. Sanders isn't just healthy, he's thriving. No lingering injuries, no questions about durability. Every rep in practice, every snap in game situations is an investment in rhythm, growth, and chemistry. And the impact is immediate. Where Watson's drives often stalled or sputtered, Sanders orchestrates movement with precision. Reads defenses cleanly, keeps composure when the pocket collapses, turns pressure into opportunity. That's not something you can teach. That's instinct, preparation, and mindset converging at the right time. The contrast couldn't be sharper. One quarterback is fighting to regain what he once had, chasing highlights from years past. Sanders, meanwhile, is building something new: momentum, consistency, and tangible production. Every drive, every completed throw reinforces the idea that he's ready not just to compete, but to lead. It's a quarterback who understands the game, the moment, and the stakes, and is proving it week after week. Even the coaching staff notices. Todd Monken, known for strategic offense and meticulous planning, has shaped the system to Sanders' strengths. 2 tight end sets, balanced run-pass schemes, and a clear emphasis on protecting the quarterback. Every structural decision enhances Sanders' ability to thrive. It's no accident. This isn't just development, it's orchestration, aligning talent, system, and opportunity. And here's the most important point. Sanders is only getting better. His decision-making is sharpening, timing is improving, and confidence grows with every rep. He's learning when to take calculated risks and when to play smart, the kind of balance that separates good quarterbacks from great ones. Fans saw a glimpse last season when Sanders emerged as the last man standing, starting the final stretch and holding the team together when it mattered most. That wasn't luck, that was proof. Now entering the current season, Sanders has health, skill, and momentum on his side. Every action, from his practice reps to the system built around him, signals one message: he's the quarterback this team trusts to lead. And when you compare that to a quarterback still trying to reclaim the past, the story becomes clear. Sanders is no longer the underdog in whispers. He's the centerpiece, rising fast and making anyone who doubts him look behind the times. Cleveland's front office isn't just watching, they're orchestrating. Every signing, every play design, every adjustment in camp points to one clear message: Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback they trust. This isn't guesswork. It's a blueprint, a calculated approach to maximize his talent and protect the investment in the player who is actually producing. Todd Monken, the architect behind Cleveland's offense, is building the system around Sanders' strengths. 2 tight end sets, a balanced mix of run and pass, and a focus on giving the quarterback time in the pocket. Every decision is intentional. It's the kind of preparation that doesn't make headlines but makes wins. The Browns aren't chasing flash, they're constructing stability, and Sanders benefits from that stability. Every snap in practice, every live rep reinforces his rhythm, confidence, and command of the offense. Look at the recent signing of Jack Stoll. On paper, it might not seem revolutionary, but the move speaks volumes. Stoll isn't a highlight machine tight end, he's a master of pass protection. He creates the kind of space and timing Sanders needs to execute clean plays. Every block, every pick, every adjustment in the run game is helping the quarterback thrive. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. The offense is being tailored to Sanders' game, designed to let him flourish rather than just survive. Meanwhile, the contrast with Watson couldn't be starker. Injuries, inconsistent reps, and uncertainty about durability have left him fighting uphill battles he may never fully overcome. Sanders, on the other hand, has health, momentum, and a team built around him. It's a system where his skill set isn't just accommodated, it's amplified. The protection, the coaching, and the structure all serve one purpose: put Sanders in a position to win. And it's not just about physical tools. Monken is shaping Sanders' decision-making, teaching him when to take risks and when to play smart. The quarterback's growth under this system isn't accidental, it's deliberate. Every rep in practice, every situational drill, every coaching tip is aimed at creating a quarterback who can dominate under pressure, read defenses with precision, and lead a team effectively. The bigger picture is unmistakable. This isn't just about training a quarterback for one season, it's about building an offense around a player who represents the team's future. Cleveland isn't experimenting anymore. Every move, from personnel choices to scheme adjustments, signals one thing: Shedeur Sanders is the cornerstone. And when strategy, skill, and opportunity align like this, it's hard not to see where the team's trust and the real power lies. Cleveland's front office isn't just reacting, they're setting the stage. Every personnel move, every adjustment in practice, every coaching decision is carefully calculated to send a message: Shedeur Sanders is the quarterback they're building around. This isn't random, it's a deliberate system designed to amplify his strengths and minimize risks. When you look past the headlines, the strategy becomes crystal clear. Take the signing of Jack Stoll. On the surface, it might look like a routine roster addition, but in reality, it's a masterstroke. Stoll isn't a flashy name meant to grab headlines. He's a blocking tight end, perfectly suited for two tight end sets that Cleveland loves. Every time he steps onto the field, he's giving Sanders more time in the pocket, creating opportunities for clean passes and helping stabilize the run game. These are the moves that don't trend on social media, but they win games. They show the front office is thinking several steps ahead, making sure the quarterback under center has a clear path to succeed. Now contrast that with Deshaun Watson's situation. Injuries, inconsistent play, and uncertainty about durability have left him constantly fighting uphill. Every game is a test not just of skill, but of whether he can stay on the field at all. Meanwhile, Sanders is healthy, locked in, and performing with confidence. The team isn't building around nostalgia or reputation. They're investing in what's real, tangible, and sustainable. Every front office decision reinforces that investment. It's not just about adding personnel, it's about shaping an environment. The Browns are creating a system that prioritizes quarterback protection, timing, and decision-making. Todd Monken's playbook aligns perfectly with Sanders' skill set, and the team is adding pieces that fit that puzzle. They're not improvising, they're constructing a framework that supports Sanders from every angle. The moves are subtle but strategic, and they're already paying dividends in practice. Sanders is not just participating, he's thriving in a system designed for his success. The message is loud and clear for anyone paying attention. The Browns aren't hedging their bets. They're not experimenting with potential or hopping for a comeback story. Every roster adjustment, every coaching tweak, every strategic signing signals one thing: the future of this offense belongs to Shedeur Sanders. The front office isn't waiting for headlines to tell them what's working, they're following results, momentum, and growth. Sanders isn't just the option, he's the centerpiece, the player the entire system revolves around. And when the rest of the league starts to notice, it won't be surprising. Cleveland is making a calculated, deliberate push to maximize Sanders' talents. This isn't a short-term plan, it's a commitment. When a team aligns personnel, strategy, and coaching around one quarterback like this, the story writes itself. Sanders isn't just competing for a spot, he's being positioned to define the offense for years to come. And for fans watching closely, the signals couldn't be clearer. The Browns' front office has chosen, and everything now points to Sanders. When you actually sit down and compare Shedeur Sanders and Deshaun Watson, the contrast is impossible to ignore. On one side, you have Watson, a player with undeniable talent, no question, but a series of setbacks that have left him on shaky ground. Injuries have interrupted rhythm, consistency has been fleeting, and the tape from recent seasons is, let's just say, underwhelming. It's not speculation. The misses, the stalled drives, the turnovers, it's all there for anyone who looks closely. And while the media keeps talking like Watson is somehow the safe pick, the reality on the field tells a much different story. Now flip to Sanders and everything changes. This is a quarterback who steps onto the field confident, calm, and in complete command of the offense. You don't see hesitation. You see precision, decision-making under pressure, and a tempo that forces defenses to react. Every throw, every read, every adjustment at the line feels deliberate. Teammates feed off that energy. The offense moves smoother. The rhythm is undeniable. This is the kind of quarterback that doesn't just play the game, he elevates it. And here, where the gap widens even further. Watson is trying to recapture past form. He's chasing something that hasn't been consistent for years. Injuries don't just fade, they leave questions. Can he absorb hits like before? Can he trust his legs to hold up for a full season? Sanders, on the other hand, doesn't have that baggage. He's healthy, fully available, and improving with every practice. Momentum is on his side. Confidence is on his side. Every rep builds on the last, and it shows in how he moves the offense. Performance under pressure is another telling factor. Watson's history shows flashes of brilliance, sure, but it's interspersed with drives that stall and opportunities lost. Sanders, however, thrives in those exact moments. Third and long, he delivers. Red zone pressure, he stays poised. Game-defining situations, he's calm, collected, and executing. You can't fake that level of composure, it either exists or it doesn't, and Sanders has it in spades. Then there's the intangible growth potential. Watson has already peaked, his prime years are behind him, and injuries have accelerated that timeline. Sanders is still climbing. Every decision is sharper, every throw cleaner, every read faster. He's building not just skill, but instincts, awareness, and leadership. The kind of quarterback who doesn't just play the game, but changes how his team operates. That's why every front office move, from blocking tight ends to offensive schemes, is designed around him. It's validation. Sanders isn't just competing, he's the player they trust to lead. Even in media narratives, the contrast is clear. Analysts keep recycling Watson's old highlights as if they are present-day performance, but anyone who watches recent film sees the truth. Sanders isn't chasing a comeback story. He's writing one in real time. Every pass, every drive, every practice rep tells the story. This is the quarterback shaping the future of the Browns. So when you stack them side by side, the numbers, the tape, and the intangible factors all point in one direction. Watson is trying to reclaim lost ground. Sanders is seizing the moment and building momentum that can't be ignored. It's not a small edge. It's a structural advantage, a timing difference, a mindset difference, and the league is starting to notice. While one player represents uncertainty and questions, the other represents confidence, growth, and leadership. In 2026, there's really only one quarterback in Cleveland whose presence changes everything every time he steps on the field, and that's Shedeur Sanders. The way analysts and media personalities have been framing this quarterback battle has been, let's just say, misleading. On TV, you see confident voices claiming Deshaun Watson is still the frontrunner, and casual fans start nodding along. But if you dig a little deeper, the story looks completely different. Analysts are often relying on old reputations, highlight reels from years ago, or assumptions about what a star quarterback should be instead of looking at what's actually happening on the field right now. That's where the misjudgment begins. Think about it, Watson has spent more time rehabbing than actually running an offense. Achilles injuries, shoulder setbacks, inconsistent seasons, these aren't just minor hurdles, they are red flags. And yet some media figures treat him like he's just hitting his stride, as if the Cleveland Browns' struggles over the past years never happened. Fans see it too. Social media is full of hot takes and nostalgia-fueled hype. Watson's still the man, they say. He's the proven star. But proven in what? His Houston years, or the Cleveland years where consistency was absent and momentum never materialized. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders has been quietly dismantling every expectation placed upon him. Not through flashy social media clips, not by chasing stats that look good on paper, but by showing actual measurable performance. Every snap, every decision, every successful drive reinforces one truth. This is a quarterback ready to lead, fully healthy and fully locked in. And yet, many analysts barely mention him as the serious contender he's become. It's almost as if they're allergic to admitting that a younger player, climbing steadily, could outshine a former star struggling with physical limitations. Fan perception is another fascinating layer to this story. People love narrative arcs, they love comeback stories, they love stars returning from injury to reclaim glory, and Watson fits that storyline perfectly. So naturally fans cling to it, but football isn't about stories, it's about results, and the results when you actually watch the tape tell a very different story. Sanders moves the offense, he reads defenses cleanly, he stays calm under pressure. He gives the team a real chance to score. Meanwhile, Watson's plays feel like flashbacks to a version of himself that hasn't been on the field for years. That contrast is glaring, but it gets buried under hype and nostalgia. Then there's the psychological factor. Sanders is proving the resilience and leadership that matter most. Fans see it on the field, teammates respond to it, and the coaching staff trusts it. Watson, despite his name recognition, is fighting an uphill battle just to regain baseline confidence and rhythm. Analysts ignoring this dynamic aren't just missing a nuance, they're misrepresenting the reality of the competition. And it doesn't stop there. Media narratives influence expectations, which in turn shape fan reactions. When analysts declare Watson the frontrunner without scrutiny, casual viewers automatically assume Sanders is the underdog. But if you're paying attention, the underdog is actually the one leading in preparedness, health, execution, and momentum. It's a classic case of perception lagging behind reality. This disconnect explains the loud disagreements online, the "wait what" comments, and the backlash when someone actually points out Sanders' undeniable edge. Fans are starting to notice the pattern. They see the on-field facts contradicting the headlines. And slowly, quietly, the conversation begins to shift. More people are realizing that the real story isn't about Watson reclaiming glory. It's about Sanders proving himself week after week, under real conditions with real stakes. So the question isn't just who will start for the Browns. It's why so many analysts, media voices, and casual fans have gotten it so wrong. The lesson: talent alone doesn't tell the whole story. Health, momentum, execution, leadership, and situational awareness, these are the real determinants. And when you weigh those factors honestly, one quarterback stands head and shoulders above the rest. One quarterback is shaping the present and the future of this team in real time. That quarterback isn't chasing a comeback, he's building his legacy every snap, and that's Shedeur Sanders. As we step back and look at the bigger picture, the quarterback situation in Cleveland isn't just a battle for a starting job. It's a reflection of everything this team is trying to build: culture, momentum, and long-term stability. For years, the Browns have been chasing flashes, hoping that a star quarterback could turn everything around. But flashes are fleeting. Highlight reels don't win games. What wins games is consistency, composure, and execution under pressure, and that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders brings to the table. Think about it, the front office isn't just signing players at random. Every roster move, every signing, and every adjustment seems designed to maximize Sanders' ability to lead this team. Take Jack Stoll, the recently added tight end. On paper, he might not grab headlines, but anyone who understands football sees the strategy immediately. Stoll isn't just a body, he's a protector, a blocker, a stabilizing force. Todd Monken loves two tight end sets, and this acquisition gives him the perfect tool to run his system while giving Sanders the space and security he needs. This isn't coincidence. This is calculated planning, and it speaks volumes about who the Browns trust at quarterback. Now contrast that with Deshaun Watson's situation. Injuries, inconsistent seasons, missed time, and questions about durability aren't just talking points, they're reality. The clock isn't just ticking, it's practically screaming. Watson is already 30 with multiple significant injuries in recent years. Expecting him to return to a level of dominance he once showed in Houston is more wishful thinking than realistic projection. The Browns aren't betting on what Watson might do, they're investing in who is ready today, who is healthy, and who can take this team forward. Sanders' trajectory is the complete opposite. Each week, each practice, each snap adds to his momentum. He's climbing, not falling. His decision-making sharpens, his throws gain precision, and his confidence grows visibly. Teammates respond to him, coaches trust him, the system is shaping around him. He isn't just playing football, he's crafting an identity as the leader of this offense. The long-term implications are clear. This is about more than one season. Sanders is positioned to be the centerpiece of the Browns' offense for years to come. And here's the subtle yet crucial point: Sanders' rise is quiet but undeniable. There's no social media hype, no dramatic narrative built for entertainment purposes. He's doing the work, showing results, and letting performance dictate perception. Meanwhile, Watson's past successes are constantly referenced, but they exist in the past. They're memories, not evidence of what he can do right now. When the league evaluates performance, potential only matters if it translates into production, and right now, Sanders is the one producing. So when we talk about the future of the Browns' quarterback room, the conclusion becomes almost inevitable. The team isn't experimenting anymore. They're committing. Every calculated move, every roster adjustment, every scheme tailored to Sanders signals a clear message. He is the present and he is the future. Anyone still betting on Watson is ignoring reality in favor of nostalgia. And when the season begins, the outcome of this battle may not even be close. Sanders isn't just the best option. He's the logical, strategic choice for a team building a winning identity. In the end, the story isn't about debate or drama. It's about execution, preparation, and foresight. The Browns aren't making headlines for flashy acquisitions. They're building a system designed to elevate the quarterback they trust most. Sanders' health, rhythm, focus, and talent align perfectly with this plan. And if you're paying attention to how carefully everything is falling into place, it's hard not to see the pattern. Cleveland isn't just hoping Sanders succeeds, they're structuring an entire team around him, ensuring that every component of the offense is positioned to maximize his impact. This is the defining moment. Sanders is healthy, prepared, and climbing. Watson is battling circumstances stacked against him. And as the season approaches, the message becomes crystal clear. The future of the Browns is being written in real time on the practice fields and in the game plan tailored specifically for Shedeur Sanders. For fans, analysts, and the league, the question is who might win. The question is, how soon will it become undeniable? And when it does, everyone watching will realize one thing: the quarterback battle may have been dramatic, but the outcome was never really in doubt. Sanders is ready and Cleveland is committed.